Movie review number 1511 is Nuremberg. Nuremberg is a 2025 movie directed by James Vanderbilt. So this movie has Sony Pictures Classics, Walden Media, and Bluestone Entertainment. So this was the first movie that I've seen in a while that had Walden Media in it. And it has celebrating 25 years on the logo. Pretty neat. I saw this movie on November 15th, 2025 at Cinemark Oakley Station SD in Oakley, Ohio. So this is based on the true story of the Nuremberg trials that took place just after World War II. So, as the Nuremberg trials are set to begin, a U.S. Army psychiatrist named Douglas Kelly gets walked into a dramatic psychological showdown with accused Nazi war criminal Hermann Goering, who happens to be the second in command to Hitler. And so, in this movie, we see Douglas Kelly, who is a psychiatrist who is called in to examine Hermann Goering and make sure that he is ready for trial. And we get to hear conversations between the two during the movie. And Douglas Kelly eventually realizes that Hermann Goering might have something planned for the trials. So he needs to figure out what to do on how they can try Goering for his crimes. So I thought it was a pretty good movie. There's a lot of dialogue in this movie, especially when we get to the trials, and it definitely paints a picture on the actions of Goering and other criminals that were involved in the deaths of many people during World War II and the Holocaust. So this movie has Rami Malek as Douglas Kelly, Russell Crowe portrays Hermann Goering, Rio Woodall portrays Sergeant Harold Trice, John Sallery portrays Burton C. Andrus, Mark O'Brien portrays John Amen, Colin Haynes portrays Gustav Gilbert, Wen Smith portrays Elise Douglas, Lydia Petkin portrays Ryla, Michael Shannon portrays Robert H. Jackson, Richard E. Grant portrays Sir David Mastrofiore, Will T. Verbeek portrays Emmy Goring, Andreas Petersman portrays Rudolf Hess, Stephen Pacey portrays Joel C. Marshall, Paul Anthony Barber portrays Francis Biddle, Jeremy Reeder portrays Edmund Phillips Hornby, Wolfgang Cerny portrays Bardo von Sitterich, Dan Kay portrays Corporal Jones, Donald Sage Mackay portrays J. William Fulbright, Dieter Westwell portrays Julius Streicher, Wayne Brett portrays Colonel Franks, Mr. Nahasi Guria portrays Eric Rader, Sam Newman portrays Auburn W. Barkley, Philippe Jacques portrays Gunther von Rothschild, Peter Jordan portrays Carl Donis, Tom Cooney portrays Robert Ray, Bray Corbina portrays Sergeant Powell, Michael Sheldon portrays Jeffrey Lawrence, and Fuhrer Bremer portrays Etta Goering. Wow, that's a lot of actors and actresses in this movie. So the film takes place on the last day of World War II, when Hermann Goering gets arrested. And so, with the help of several nations, including America and Britain, the Nuremberg trials will take place that will involve Goering and other Nazi war criminals to be tried for the deaths of many Jewish people during the Holocaust. And so Douglas Kelly comes in, and he is a psychiatrist, and his job is to examine Goering along with the other Nazi war criminals to make sure they are ready for the trial. Of course, Kelly is trying to get as much information as he can about Goering that he could possibly use in the trial. But Gurlane may have something planned. And Kelly and other members know that if they don't find a way to sentence him, he could be let go. So Kelly and the others, right, Robert H. Jackson, who is portrayed by Michael Sheen in the movie, they have to figure out how to make the judges be convinced that these men were responsible for the deaths of many Jewish people during this unfortunate and terrible time. So like I said, this is based on a true story, and it's also based on a book. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I will say that there are some unfortunate and disturbing scenes in this movie that do relate to the Holocaust. But most of the movie, I would say, is just dialogue about what happened and how these trials may prevent other occurrences from happening. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good movie, and I definitely liked the performances, especially by Rami Malek and Russell Crowe. So that's my movie review of Nuremberg. Please enjoy from this movie review. Alright, goodbye.